of this team sitting in the promotion tournament wondering how is it that they found themselves here. They weren't able to win anything except a single series in the final 4 weeks. And it's going to be a bloodbath of a series, I can tell you that. But off the start, the aggression from Stromboli is certainly keeping Rogue back on their heels for now. But the one thing we want to look at, Subi, to start things off is what are we going to see from Rogue? Which Rogue is going to come to play this weekend? Will Wonder show up? And if he doesn't, does that mean that First Killer is going to have to overexert himself? And of course, the MVP, the one and only Kronovi, he is not going to let them lose. We'll see how Stromboli's able to do it.
Well, one thing that I've noticed watching Rogue all season long, and fantastic job from all the crew over at the RLCS, it was such an entertaining season. But one thing that I've noticed from Rogue is on defense, they tend to double commit a lot. And it's not necessarily that two are jumping completely in the air, but it's two are pushing forward towards the ball, and then someone calls the other teammate off. And that's what they need to work out against a team like Stromboli. Stromboli has the ability to play very fast. We see it there with Andy beating First Killer to that ball. So for Rogue right now, they have to make sure that that doesn't happen. If this pass comes out and Outlast gets the first goal of the series.
You speak about some of the defensive issues, and this was a team that had ridden that wave all the way to the end of the season. And on the other side, Stromboli was known for outscoring their defensive mistakes. But unfortunately, again, we're all sitting in the same position. 2 wins is all it takes. You need to win 2 series, and you'll find yourself in the RLCS. And a good start from Stromboli will hopefully extend that to a Game 1 win. And you heard Shogun talk about it. He said possibly a Game 1 win for Stromboli, but after that, who honestly knows? Off the start, it's a good hold from them as they push the ball into the blue corner. First Kill is going to read it. It's going to fall precariously before Andy meets it and takes it away. Now down for an opportunity, but back the other way as J-Pal falls in transition. Alres cuts it off. Pass to Andy, intercepted by Kronovi. And back to midfield we go. Stromboli does have control for now.
And 2 minutes down in game number 1, and Rogue has still yet to find a shot. But good demo there, going to open things up. But great back wall defense from Alraz, and the infield pass nowhere to be found. Rogue not on the same page here throughout the first half. Let's see if they can get some sort of momentum going.
Couple of dangerous reads, left an open net for a possible follow-up, but that's going to be taken away. First Killer again going to carry this back to midfield over 1. Andy's going to be there to poke it away back into the corner, and Wonder will hold it down. Challenge won by Stromboli in transition. Stromboli with an opportunity. That's going to go off the backboard. Can anyone follow up before First Killer gets it? Unfortunately not, but Alres slows it down. J-Pow with a follow-up and off the top of the wall and into the corner as Rogue try to slow down this assault from Stromboli off the start. Subi, here comes a transitional opportunity, but it's taken away again in midfield.
Good pass forward from Alraz, but Andy can't quite find the angle, and First Killer just bombs that downfield, and in that situation, he needs to try and hit Kronovi or Wonder. He had them both on the wing, unable to get that. This one's going down, but Wonder a little too slow to the ball, and that was the first shot we've seen from Rogue that could have possibly gone in the back of the net, but look at this, First Killer launching that.
As we're going to again push this back and forth, up for First Killer to handle. Challenge in contest 1, and the ball moves back to midfield. Rogue again slows it down, flicks over 1. That's Wonder into the corner, pinches it up for Kronovi.
Oh.
Kronovi could not get it to go into the top shelf. And once again, Stromboli stay alive and have a transitional opportunity before Rogue gets the second touch.
Well, that's an awkward ball from Alraz, but no pressure coming early from Wonder, and somehow Andy's able to get this ball towards midfield, and a fast break opportunity for Stromboli, but this one's easily cleared away. Kronovi too slow up to that ball, and 50 seconds to go. Rogue still looking for their first goal of the series.
Rogue came in 8th in the RLCS, and as they sit here, of course, that veteran experience does play a certain factor when the personality starts to shine through for some of these teams. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to execute. Neither of these teams have found that success, and they're looking to at least capitalize on some mistakes. It's a beautiful touch downfield from Wonder. But again, it slows down into the corner. And Rogue will move it back to midfield. Araz falling back in transition. He gets a good read and pushes this one forward, extending the play barely. J-Pow now has to follow back. That's a touch over 1. Araz is going to slow it down in the front of the net, up into the corner. Spikes down for First Killer, up off the top of the bar. And it's going to drop, and it should. As Alraz will extend it, spikes it down, and Stromboli will steal game 1 from Rogue. 3 more to go to take their first win in the series, but still, a good showing, defensive plays all around, and that's what we saw in game 1. Stromboli able to stave off the Rogue pushes. At the end of the day, that's all they needed to do.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say Stromboli stole that one from Rogue. They controlled the pitch up and down for 5 minutes in total. Rogue just could get nothing going offensively, defensively, midfield. They just didn't seem like they were all on the same page. And the spacing to me was the most awkward thing. They were giving Stromboli so much space to work with, almost like they aren't respecting the fact that Stromboli is in this tournament alongside with them. They feel like, hey, this is a rival series team. Maybe we can just manhandle them, but not the case here in game number 1.
Only 4 shots combined for Rogue, and you're looking at a numerous amount of saves, right? 2 apiece for Kronovi and First Killer, 3 for Wonder. But again, the question was not so much about Kronovi. We know what he can do. It was about if Wonder shows up, phenomenal. We need all 3 players from Rogue to be on the same page. If he doesn't, First Killer tends to overextend himself. Then you worry about some of these transitional opportunities. You worry about the double commits. Like you talked about, Subi, you said that it has been an issue all season. For Stromboli, the biggest factor for them was outscoring their mistakes. At the start of the season, they were scoring so frequently, we didn't even talk about their defensive issues because there was no need to, unlike BDS, a team that doesn't have as many because they can outscore. Now we're sitting here in the promotion tournament where you can't afford to make mistakes like this. You can't afford to really give up any leg room, and they've done a phenomenal job of that in game 1. Of course, it was a 1-0 game, but at the end of the day, a win is a win. We'll see if they continue that here in game 2.
Yeah, I want to see them get aggressive in this first minute. They need to take control of the pitch and not overextend. You see 2 members in the orange half. Wonder getting demoed. Kronovi up for that ball, can't read it, and no opportunity. And this is going to be a 1v1 in favor of Stromboli. Andy goes, no, gets the fake over Kronovi, but Wonder there for the save.
Well, a follow-up attempt from Stromboli does not lead to a goal. Andy reads it at midfield, could not get it under Wonder. And J. Powell will handle it. Up for Alraz, a great pass forward. It's going to read it off the back of the ceiling. Never mind, it was going to waterfall down, but a touch from Stromboli actually keeps it out in front. First Killer could not get the touch, and a demo leads to a goal from Stromboli. Andy punches it into the back of the net, and another 1-0 lead to start game 2.
Yeah, Wonder needs to get that ball. First Killer had 100% faith in the touch. It doesn't come out, and he has to try and make a last-ditch effort to get a touch on the ball. And just like that, Stromboli strikes first once again.
If you've been with us through the Rivals series, and I'm sure you've heard it at the RLCS level, we've talked about physicality being so important at the end of the day, right? Like being able to bump players out of position, get those demos on the pitch that leads to opportunities. This is another situation where that demo clears lanes and it allows that goal to fall through. Again, Stromboli come out, they strike hot. And this is what you need if you're a rival series team playing in the promotion tournament. Get ahead of these veteran guys and make sure that you put pressure down where you can. Don't let them get too comfortable. And again, they're able to steal the ball away, winning the low 50s. And this goes up for First Killer. Let's see if he's able to follow through with it. It's stolen away by Wonder, a teammate there, but the defense from Stromboli will slow it down. Up the top of the ceiling. Wonder will not get the touch. Alraz pokes it down. And this should be an easy read as J-Pow knocks it back to midfield.
Spaceman, another thing that I'd like to see from Rogue, outside of that spacing, and this may help with the spacing, is stop going back on defense to get those full boost pads. It seems like they're very uncomfortable playing on offense when they're low boost, and that's one thing you need to do to be able to sustain that pressure. And if you watch them, there's always one member passing that midfield line going back into the blue half to try and gather up some boost.
And as you chip away at that defense for Rogue, of course, quality shots will start to fall in your lap. But like you said, you kind of need pressure at midfield. You need numbers in the play. It creates disrupts and mismatches in open lanes. And if not, it gives you an opportunity for follow-ups. Kronovi almost had a beautiful double touch off the wall that possibly could have extended an opportunity, but Alraz and crew will slow it down. Kronovi actually takes it over one, but the defense from Stromboli slows it and takes it back to midfield. Alraz into the corner. Plays it off one. Andy could not follow through, and back to midfield we go. Rogue with a big demo leaves an open net opportunity, but they could not get a shot down and stolen away by Andy. Stromboli find ways to break up this Rogue offense, and they do it time and time again.
Yeah, Rogue had a beautiful opportunity there. Unfortunately, that shot was way off target. And that's where comms are going to come in handy when you call out that you're going for a demo. Your teammate knows that, hey, if I just fire this on target, even if I'm all the way down on defense, there's a possibility that it goes in net. And the double commit again from Rogue, but the passing play is there, but unable to connect. And Andy puts that off the side wall, and Alrez is going to roll with it down to the blue half.
We hit about 90 seconds left into game 2, and finally an opportunity for Rogue. That's an open net, but an even better play from J-Pow as he gets it out into the corner and takes it back to midfield. Rogue definitely want that one back as we're still sitting at 1-0.
Beautiful diving save on the goal line. That one was on target. Beautiful passing play. The best one we've seen from Rogue yet, and a great dunk from Alrez in the defensive half of Rogue. And the bump is there, but Wonder puts it off his side post. Opportunity for Kronovi, but can't get it over Alrez.
Had a defender flying back, is able to break it up. Here comes the follow. The waterfall does not go in. A second attempt. Kronovi puts it to the top of the shelf. Rogue is able to tie this game up, and a beautiful read by Kronovi off the ball from the bottom. Takes it away over a defender and lightly pushes it to the top of the net.
The saves from Alrez are clutch, but once he was out of the picture, Rogue able to find their first goal of the series, and we're all tied up under 1 minute to go. Can Rogue roll with it? No, J-Pow puts the shot in, and just like that, Stromboli up again.
Caught him slipping on defense. First killer went up for the extension. He grabbed boost, but with that happening, you have two players on the right side of the box. You leave an open net in the left corner, and all of a sudden, we're looking at 2-1 in 3 seconds, 50 seconds left in the game. And Rogue took so much time to find their first goal of the series and has slipped away. Now the lead in favor of Stromboli in game 2, but first killer wants none of it. Over one, not over the second, as J-Pow pushes it towards the top of the post, pinches it out, and back to midfield as we burn time. 30 seconds, Subi. Anybody's game is now up in the air.
3 insane saves from Stromboli so far. Absolutely clutch, and 20 seconds to go. Rogue's gonna have 2 opportunities at this, but J-Pow takes away one of them. Can Wonder bomb this downfield? He does. It's all the way down. The pass is there, but a little too high. And another one too high. Can Wonder get it? He does. It just like that. Tie ball game.
Which Rogue are we going to get? Apparently, it's where everyone contributes on every goal. First killer, we'll call it a tactical fake as he lets the ball fall back, and Wonder will easily take that one in. 8 seconds, we could be looking at overtime, but another testament to these players, right? We're looking at an RLCS team that can keep the ball alive in 0 seconds. How will Stromboli handle it? Under one. Wonder does win the challenge in the front of the net, and unfortunately, the traffic will not ensue, and we're going to head to overtime.
Tons of shots from Rogue here in game number 2. Good pass from Wonder, but Alrez reads that beautifully. First killer going to have to slow this one down, and I'm so impressed with Rogue's ability to change their gameplay from games. But the demo going to open things up, and hesitant on the goal line. Rogue got to be aware of that.
Another challenge won in midfield by Stromboli. That's going to go off the back wall. Spikes down. A follow-up shot, but an even better save from first killer as he takes it away. But again, Kronovi has to sit back on defense, and they are waiting to get man numbers at field. Or at midfield, I should say, as Andy now clears it out. And again, the midfield challenge won by Stromboli. Back on defense, Rogue will sit for now. Grabs boost. Ball into the corner. Alrez will follow it up the wall. Never mind. The 51 by Wonder. Andy takes it at midfield. So he can get over one. No challenge from Rogue. One and taken away. Back to the corner we go. The pressure in Rogue's half has been all of Stromboli's doing. And now a transitional opportunity as that's going to go off the ceiling, and a bit of an unfortunate read as now Stromboli have an opportunity for a follow-up.
Rogue has attempted the defensive demos to try and clear things up, to clear that ball downfield, and even that hasn't worked. But a poor touch from Wonder right at the top of the box. Going to give Andy an opportunity, but first killer able to read it off that side wall, but uses a lot of boost in the process. Alrez can't get the dunk. Wonder with the clutch save, but still Stromboli maintaining pressure in the blue half.
Stromboli cannot overcommit on some of these hits. The biggest worry is a transitional chance as J-Pow is sitting ready and waiting. As that booming clear could have spelled disaster, but now here comes Rogue with the more than feasible opportunity. Wonder's going to hit it back to first killer, passes it into the corner. Andy will read it off the top of the wall. Gets a second hit up to Alrez. No redirect. Kronovi with an easy read. And back into the corner again for Rogue. 2 minutes and 10 seconds burned into overtime. And no one has found a decent shot yet. A good save from Rogue has kept them in this game, but still we slow it down, Subi. And another challenge won by Stromboli. A follow-up and an open net, and no wonder he gets it into the back of the net, and Stromboli was not able to get back in time, and a tie series as Rogue find their first win in overtime.
Yeah, that is a high-risk, low-reward challenge there from Stromboli. 2 defenders on the ball. All it takes is a 50-50 against you, and it goes against your favor just like that. Rogue taking game number 2, and a lot of people have been talking a lot about Wonder this season, but this game, he silences them all, carries his team to victory, and it couldn't have been done without First Killer with those assists, but still, I'm still worried about the spacing and the communication from Rogue right now. It just does not look like they're all on the same page.
When all 3 players from Rogue show up, we've seen what they've done at the end of the RLCS season. And they come in here, they change pace from what they had in game 1. They fix some of the spatial corrections. And now, Subi, we're looking at a team that not only was taking more shots, but the quality of shots was better. They were winning some of those 50s that they were losing in game 1. We have 2 goals from Wonder, 1 from Kronovi. The defense was able to hold on just enough. On the other side, though, 8 shots from Andy, only 1 goal. Again, the quality shots from Stromboli is still a factor that we have to take into account. Not really here in game 2, but at the end of the day, their defense was good enough. Just at the end in overtime, another team where execution has been their biggest weak point. We come into the end of the season where Stromboli has the same issues here. It's about executing in overtime when they've been pushed that far. It's about executing at the end of the late game. They're able to take a goal away and make it a 2-1 game. Then they give up 2 uncontested. We're now looking at a 1-1 tie series for Rogue. At the end of the day, you have to wonder, when we start moving into crunch time, we start moving into, going through the trenches, is Rogue going to be able to survive because they've been in the RLCS, they've had that veteran experience, or Stromboli fix some of their mistakes and they'll find ways to chip away at Rogue, like we've talked about with that spatial differences?
Well, it's going to be hard for Rogue. As everyone knows, they finished 8th in the RLCS, and their only victories came against Cloud9, and that was early in the season. That was a different Cloud9, because at the end of the season, it looked like Cloud9 of old. So Cloud9, Pittsburgh Knights, who lackluster all season. The infield pass here from Stromboli, absolute perfection.
A great pass off the wall from J Powell, an even better hit forward. Alrez finds the top of the net, no problem. Again, Stromboli strike first in all 3 games, all relatively quickly into the games as well. We're looking at a minute 30 or less. 1-0 for Stromboli. But at midfield, Rogue has had the advantage. Let's see if they can continue that into game 3. Remember, a tie series. First, or best of 7, I should say. First of 4, sitting at 1-1. As Wonder's going to read that off the backbone. Slowed down for Andy. Could not win the individual challenge, but J Pow is there, and Alrez is fighting for boost in the back. Well, that's all happening. J Pow said, I'll take it from here, Subi, no problem.
Good challenge there from Andy, and look at the patience from J Pow. Once he saw the defender in the air, First Killer went up. J Pow knew all he had to do was shoot it nice and hard right over his hood. He's not going to be able to regain composure after that. And a quick 2-0 lead for Stromboli.
It was a good cushion goal from Stromboli to give him a little bit of an edge, a little bit of room for error. The margins are a little bit wider now as Rogue looked to stop the bleeding. It's been about minute 15, and still Rogue have not been able to find themselves out of their defensive half. Now they move past the blue mark and into Stromboli's territory. That's going to go up towards the ceiling. First Killer slow it down in the air. Could not get over 1 as J Powell knocks it into the corner. The challenge won by Rogue. Back for Wonder to grab. No boost for Kronovi. No problem. Wonder will push it to the side of the board, and First Killer reads it from a pass. And into the corner again as Wonder comes over the top. Kronovi set in position, but J Powell is set in the air to take it away. And once again, Rogue continues to slow it down in midfield, but the challenge from Stromboli possibly could lead to another opportunity.
Yeah, and still Rogue unable to gain anything on offense. Only 1 shot in 2 minutes. Very reminiscent of game number 1. Andy gonna have to go up and slow that ball down, but Wonder not gonna be able to find much. The pass actually went through, but Alvarez is gonna get it clear. This one going towards the top of the box, and that was the best offensive push we've seen thus far from Rogue, and it amounted to absolutely nothing.
Taken away in the front of the box by First Killer. As you could see, Kronobi was ready and waiting for a missed redirect to read it off the side of the wall and bring it forward. Kronobi now in the air, no boost. Could not follow up, and Alvarez punches it out. Andy's going to go ahead and challenge that every day. And Wonder gets a great demo from First Killer, as that ball's going to bounce on in with no one in front of it. Andy couldn't win the challenge, and Rogue have a great play to get themselves on the board.
Yeah, great demo from First Killer, but honestly, I think even without that, that ball's going in. Defender so awkward on that side post. And Rogue bring it back within 1 right at halftime. They need to keep that momentum going as Andy's up in the air, looks for a shot, flip reset, but unable to find anything on that. And Stromboli looking to regain that pressure that they held so easily in the first minute of game number 3.
Well, they're going to have to fall back in transition, and J-Pow's going to have something magical come out of his car as he actually gets a demo on a player, so that helps in man advantage. Now, never mind, back to full strength. It's going to go back to the blue half, and First Killer can read that. Back to J-Pow, who cuts it off, but First Killer again will have the last laugh and a demo on top of it. Wonder gets it over 1, just barely in the side of the post. I don't know how that doesn't go through, as First Killer comes in with a follow-up shot, and Andy is able to slightly jump up and push it away. But Rogue with a great opportunity, and you have to have more of those connects moving into the latter part of this game. Now a minute 30 left.
Yeah, you got to capitalize on those chaos situations in the box. Defenders were just scrambling all over the place, and right there, Andy and Alvarez, again, very close together. They're starting to bunch up on defense in those corners. Rogue do anything here? No. This ball is put to the side, and again, they keep trying to go to these corners, and the one thing that has worked for Rogue are the infield passes.
And a great pass off the side of the wall. First Killer was ready and waiting like a center in the paint. Kronobi sets it up and serves it over a defender, and First Killer puts it where the defense can't grab it. 2-2, tied game 3. A minute left. And once again, Stromboli have let a lead slip, and now we're looking at a tie game.
Yeah, just falling apart in the crunch time. And that was a ball that needed to be hit off that back wall. And a team like Rogue, even though they're here in this promotion tournament facing relegation, they're in the RLCS for a reason, and they are absolutely going to punish you for those simple mistakes in your defensive half.
And they've been able to paint some of the corners in the post that we haven't seen Stromboli really capitalize on, right? Maybe try to pinch it out and get a good play, quick transition downfield. At the end of the day, Stromboli's had to sit back on defense and weather the storm of Rogue, and a challenge from First Killer leaves it up for Wonder, and a follow-up hit from Kronobi slows it down into the corner. J-Pow tries to get over 1. Wonder wins the challenge.
Oh.
Capitalize on, right? Maybe try to pinch it out and get a good play, quick transition downfield. At the end of the day, Stromboli's had to sit back on defense and weather the storm of Rogue, and a challenge from First Killer leaves it up for Wonder, and a follow-up hit from Kronobi slows it down into the corner. J-Pow tries to get over 1. Wonder wins the challenge.
Oh.
First Killer could not get the second touch. You could see the play unfolding. A carry from Andy gets it over Kronobi. Andy by himself, but no one's there to follow up Subi. And now, with 5 seconds, what does Rogue have in their pocket?
It's all them. The infield there, but too shallow on the pass. And again, we go into overtime. Can Rogue find this one, or will it be Stromboli again squeaking away with the last second goal?
Challenge won by First Killer. Miraculously, as he pushes J-Pow to the ceiling. Stromboli have a chance, but that's a demo from Rogue that leaves the window open. And We should be back at full strength just now. His first kill is going to come off the ceiling. A follow-up was not there. Wonder. A bicycle kick to the defender. Stromboli are trying their best to get this ball out of the orange half. And another follow-up from first killer. A double commit in the post. Leaves the ball open. And again, they're stacking the box just over one. And a great pass forward for Andy, who has boost, but doesn't have the height advantage.
Here comes Kronovi. Decides to let that ball go. Good decision. The pass is there. The shot, a little too high. Alrez able to get that save. And Kronovi maintains possession and pressure. But Stromboli, so far in this overtime, haven't found much as far as offense goes. And defense, they're really starting to scare me. They're starting to send two very close together in those corners. That was a dangerous pass from Andy, but not going to be punished as minute 20 go by here in overtime. Both teams still fighting to maintain midfield dominance.
Oh my goodness, Kronovi almost had one of the most majestic reads. But like you said, Subi, I mean, Stromboli has had trouble just getting out of their own half. They have not been able to get past midfield. They've had maybe 2 or 3 booming hits. Other than that, it's been a relentless assault from Rogue.
Midfield dominance.
Oh my goodness, Kronovi almost had one of the most majestic reads. But like you said, Subi, I mean, Stromboli has had trouble just getting out of their own half. They have not been able to get past midfield. They've had maybe 2 or 3 booming hits. Other than that, it's been a relentless assault from Rogue. Unfortunately, has not led to a goal or an overtime win. A follow-up could lead it as J-Pow with a miraculous touch keeps the game at 2-2. Into the corner for Andy. Andy with only 12 boosts, needs to grab more. Gets it out in front, but he leaves it up for Wonder. Fortunately, J-Pow is there to bring it the other way, and Andy now can get full as he has an opportunity to put this game away, but a great read from Rogue keeps them ahead.
And Rogue is, the miss from Kronovi. And the shot coming from Wonder. Andy gets that last.
He leaves it up for Wonder. Fortunately, J-Pow is there to bring it the other way, and Andy now can get full as he has an opportunity to put this game away, but a great read from Rogue keeps them ahead.
And Rogue is, the miss from Kronovi. And the shot coming from Wonder. Andy gets that last second save. And right now, Rogue doing a fantastic job on offense. Every time that they're rotating through, they're looking for a defender, and it's making Stromboli
net's open.
Stay on their toes. Opportunity, but good pass from Andy. Back pass. The pass to Alraz. Up into the corner. And the first shot is very last second save. And right now, Rogue doing a fantastic job on offense. Every time that they're rotating through, they're looking for a defender, and it's making Stromboli
net's open.
stay on their toes. Opportunity, but good pass from Andy. Back pass. The pass to Alraz up into the corner. And the first shot is very soft from J-Pow here in overtime. And Stromboli not going to do much with that possession.
It just looks like Rogue is so much faster when it comes to getting at these contests. They've been able to steal it away and put shot after shot after shot down on goal, and eventually it's going to land. You can only play defense so much. He's going to fall into the corner again. Stromboli somehow staying alive. Alrez could possibly get it over Kronovi. He does. It's left open, and all of a sudden, Stromboli weathered the storm, and Alrez is able to take it from his own corner, the length of the field, and he puts it over two. Leaves an open net open, and Stromboli take carefully. I don't know how they were able to find that opening.
I don't know either. I don't know if Rogue called the timeout and thought it was. It's a terrible joke. That one missed. But nobody went for that ball on Rogue. It's like they all expected the other teammate to go for the touch, and Alrez said, okay, I'll just launch this on target. And nobody was home for Rogue. Just a simple mistake.
He gets it over Kronovi. I think it was First Killer who was rotating back to the box. Maybe you expect him to come in and play the ball, but Wonder was in a perfect situation to at least get the hood of his car up on the bottom, push it to the ceiling. Instead, he gets demoed in the process, and that leaves the net wide open. Stromboli just had to play minute after minute after minute of defense, and all of a sudden, they get an open net opportunity. All Andy had to do was move on through. And Alvarez said, "I'll take care of the rest." I'm just surprised with how well Stromboli was able to recover Subi. And we move into game 4, and it's a 2-1 series lead for Stromboli. I don't think any of us really expected it to be this close, let alone go this, back and forth the way it has. I'm just
Well,
surprised.
look, Stromboli needs to step it up on defense. You cannot allow
Yeah.
an RLCS team to get 22 shots on you because honestly, you got lucky there and you squeaked away with a win. Don't expect that to happen every single match because Rogue dominated that game and a simple mistake was all it took for Rogue to lose it. But if you allow Rogue to do that again to you, I would bet my savings account on it that they are going to win every single time.
And the shot selection from Rogue has been great all series. It's just really been Stromboli's ability to find an open net here and there. Something I didn't really think does not follow through, but Wonder tried to get a second touch. It will not happen. But this is the Stromboli we've seen from weeks prior. Subi, what are you seeing from them that's been different than the end of the season?
Oh. Sorry, I thought that double tap was on target there. And I completely... Were you asking about Rogue or were you asking about Stromboli? I'm sorry, that shot on
it's all
target
good.
completely...
It happens. It's Rocket League, baby. What are you seeing from Stromboli? This looks a lot like in the start of the first couple of games with these quick goals. It seems like the Stromboli we've seen from the first 3 or 4 weeks of the Rival Series. What are you seeing from them that's changed the way that they ended this series in Rivals? Of course, they dropped a couple of series. What are you seeing from them in the start of this series? What are you seeing that's really changed?
Well, this is a team that, as we all talked about, was dominant, and they were objectively the best team in Rival Series through those first 3 weeks. But then they started losing to just lower level teams. They lost in week 4 to Mirage, who is middle of the pack, and they did retain their spot, but then they lost to the Warriors, who aren't going to be back in the Rival Series, and then they lost to Omni, the best team in the league. So this is a team that has potential to play down to their opponents, and right now, I feel like in Game 2, they played down to Rogue. Game 3, they played down to Rogue. They luckily came out with a win, but they're playing to Rogue's level right now when Stromboli should take off the chains and play their own game. Force Rogue to play along with you, and that's that fast play style that we see from them. It's the midfield pressure that we see from them, and so far, outside of Game 1, it just hasn't really been here.
It's been a couple of lucky breaks that have led Stromboli to a 2-1 series lead. But other than that, you're absolutely right. It's been a bloodbath back and forth. As Alvarez takes it out of his own net, Wonder will send it back the other way, and he pushes it into the corner for Stromboli to read, and a great pass downfield leaves Kronobi by himself, passes it to First Killer, who sends it right into Stromboli's lap, and they will have no problem possibly taking it away as a follow-up shot from Wonder will actually not get anywhere near the net, but it leaves it in the corner, and Rogue find a way to pinch it out. Off the top, no pinch, no double touch, no problem. Stromboli slow it down. Their defense has been great through the start of Game 4. And again, Rogue finally finding some aggressive, great save, and an even better follow-up from Kronobi. You can see the play developing, and when one's not going to land, you always have to worry about the second, and Kronobi's able to put it in the back of the net.
And it all boils down to a simple double commit from Stromboli that leads to that easy goal for Kronobi. They did have that clutch save there, but not much more could be done. And Wonder misses on that ball. First Killer going to push it into the corner, and that is where Stromboli has been lacking, is that corner defense. They're putting two very far forward. It's so easy for Rogue to just pop that ball out, and then they're looking at man advantage if they do that.
One thing that has definitely changed is the midfield presence from Stromboli in Game 4. You could see that they're getting much more aggressive on these challenges, and in contests, they are winning some of these balls, these 50-50s. The traffic plays have not been as congested as we've seen prior, where they've let Rogue have their way with them. Back into the corner we go, like you talked about, but into midfield with 30 seconds left. A tie game again. Could we be looking at another overtime, which would make 3 in the series? Possible, probable, all in the same realm, because this tournament has everything that we would love about Rocket League, and at the end of the day, it's about who executes. That ball's going to hang for Alraz, going to play it off the corner, could not get a follow-up touch, and now First Kill has an open net, as Wonder could not bump out J-Pow. That slow down defensive play from Stromboli leaves things up. Here comes Rogue, and that's going to go into the corner, and that should hit, and it will. Again, we move to overtime in Game 4, our third overtime of the series.
I don't know who's going to take this, Spaceman. I mean, both teams look strong at times and then very awkward at times, but this is an awkward ball from Stromboli. Wonder puts it under the crossbar, but Alraz and Andy combine powers to pinch that ball out, and they hang on in overtime.
And the follow-up shots from Rogue have continued this pressure. That's another opportunity. One after another. You think it's one great save from Stromboli, but it's an even better follow-up from Rogue. They win it on the corner. Stromboli flies in transition. Andy gets it over one, could not get it over Kernovi. Kernovi will slow it down. J-Pow does have boost. Will go up to meet it. Lets it fall for Alraz, who does win it over Wonder. Andy commits in the middle of the field as J-Pow gets a shot up, and Stromboli taking Rogue off the field in a quick overtime. 52 seconds is all it needed.
Oh, that 50-50 from Andy. He strategically placed his card so that ball could only go in one spot, and that is to midfield for the perfect setup pass to end overtime. Great play to challenge that ball, and great play in overtime from Stromboli. It looked like that ball was going to go in from Rogue, but somehow they kept it out.
Stromboli has had so many dangerous double commits in net, but at the end of the day, it's working. They're getting the ball out. They are staying alive. I think that's really the key point in this series. The Stromboli has found a way to stay alive as Rogue transitions into offense. And now, 1 goal, 4 shots, of course, for Kernovi. The only
Stromboli, all they need is just a little sliver of hope, and they're taking it.
Who would have thought we'd be sitting at 3-1 Rogue entering Game 5 in a best-of-7 series? Surely very little. So at the end of the day, we would love to know what you guys are thinking. Remember to use hashtag RLCS9, tweet at Rocket League Esports, or let us know in the chat what you guys are thinking. But we certainly expected this one to possibly go Rogue's way. A pleasant surprise as Stromboli have found life, where we thought there might be very little at the end of the season, as Alraz gets it over one, could not get out in front of the second defender. And that ball is going to hang precariously for Rogue to win and contest. And a great pass forward leads open to a demo from J-Pow. And Stromboli, with a good defensive hold, bring it back to midfield.
Good push there from Alraz, and a whiff coming out from Wonder. Gonna leave this ball towards midfield, and J-Pow elects to go back on defense, gonna grab that boost pad and set himself up in net. I love the defense we've seen from Stromboli so far in this match. They haven't allowed too many shots on target, actually no shots on target. And here comes one, but First Killer gonna push that one away from Alraz.
And again, we sit in the blue half as Rogue have not had too many instances where they've been stuck on defense, right? Like, they've been able to get the ball out and clear it away. It's really been Stromboli who found an open opportunity downfield, whether it was a booming hit, whether it was getting over 1 or 2 defenders, and they've left an open net for Rogue. But now we finally see some crucial life from Stromboli. They are playing aggressive, they're playing into the blue half, they're getting physical on the pitch, and they're winning these 50-50s that have led to some of these open nets, Subi. It's just been miraculous to see how well Stromboli have played up to Rogue's expectations.
Yeah, you don't want to rely on it every match, because I don't know if it's sustainable, because we see right there the diving saves. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, and when Kernovi has an open net like this, yeah, he's not going to miss them.
Rogue take their first lead of the series here in Game 5. It's quite an interesting stat line as Stromboli has scored first every single game, but finally, Rogue will put themselves on the board. Still plenty of time to play, but this one always goes down to the wire, and we would expect nothing less in Game 5. Another opportunity. J-Pow gets it off the back wall on the side of his own net. It's going to hang for Wonder, who will not win it, and it will be Andy. Wonder how much boost he has to work with, as the tank should be relatively empty, and Alraz grabs it on the side. Now back into the back wall as Kronovi could not get the follow-up touch. Wonder flicked it into the side. J-Pow following up for Alrez. Over one. Who can follow in up to the clock and into the corner as Rogues slow it down. And they bring it back to midfield. Spatial awareness from Rogue has gotten much better as the series has gone on. You can see them spreading the field now. As first killer flies back, he gets some boost, leaves it up for Kronovi, but actually too much power. And Andy will take it away. Over one. Down for a follow-up. Could it be a shot? It could. It will. Alrez makes it 1-1.
I love this follow-up from Andy. He's forcing the defenders to respect him, that double tap might come out, but in flies Alrez. 65 miles per hour on target, under the crossbar. Good shot from Stromboli, good gameplay, and tie it up just in the second half.
I thought for a second Rogue was going to cheat on the face-off, but Kronovi was there ready and waiting, reads it off the wall, brings it into the orange half. But again, to the other side we go, as Rogue look to make something happen. They're spreading the field, now a transitional opportunity as they create a passing lane, but it's taken away by Stromboli, and a win by Andy again leaves the net open for an opportunity, as Stromboli have had so many chances to intercept these passes and follow up with some dangerous hits. But at the end of the day, Stromboli find ways to continue to win challenges in traffic, and Rogue have found ways to slow it down, but who is going to respond? Still tied 1-1. We've now closed in on the 82nd mark in Game 5. A demo from Stromboli will give them the man advantage. Now we'll scratch that stat and bring it back to full numbers as that's left up for Rogue, and that's a great follow-up redirect, but it will not find the back of the net. And another slowdown at midfield actually pushes it into the corner. Kronovi could read it over one. No, Alrez takes it away.
Just off camera, Alrez had to barrel through J-Pow as he spawned right when he was driving towards net. It could have been a perfect opportunity from Rogue, but little fumbling of the ball didn't allow the quick shot to come out. But Kronovi flipped, reset, 50-50, not going to go anywhere near target. Look at the space Stromboli's given to Rogue. They're saying, come on, I dare ya. Try and shoot that ball. We've got the goal line covered.
Well, the scariest thing is Rogue continues to push up past the 50-yard line. All it takes is one booming hit from Stromboli, and we're looking at a 2-1 game. Luckily for Rogue's sake, they haven't had to face that reality as Kronovi, with a beautiful pinch off the wall, takes it into J-Pow's corner, and a follow-up from Rogue takes it to 2-1 with 26 seconds.
They just put this one on a silver platter, tied it up on a bow, or with a bow rather, and you cannot clear the ball right there. You've got to have a purpose with where you put that ball, and right there it just fell right into Rogue's lap.
I believe it was Wonder who took out a defender following back to possibly get a touch on the ball. Would it have mattered? Who knows? But at the end of the day, a 2-1 lead for Rogue keeps them alive in Game 5, keeps them alive in the series. A follow-up from Stromboli as Kronovi takes it out of his own net. Another shot opportunity. The first killer gets a beautiful touchdown field to burn time, and we could be looking a 3-2 series lead still for Stromboli, but a Game 5 win for Rogue looks to be in the books if this ball touches the ground. And it looks like for now it's still up for J-Pow, and into the corner it should.
Oh.
A lucky bounce keeps it up.
Oh.
As this one will hang precariously.
Oh, it's still
Stromboli keeping it up. Alrez.
Oh, the pass is there.
Is it off the backboard? Can you follow up? No, Stromboli can't get it to go, and it's still a 3-2 lead, but a Game 5 win for Stromboli. Rogue, excuse me. We could be looking to go the distance.
Holy smokes, that one made me get out of my chair. I mean, the opportunity was there. Holy smokes, but there we go. 1 out of 3 that Rogue needs to get. They need to win 2 more in a row if they want to take down Stromboli. And I commented on it in that matchup, Stromboli giving a lot of space to Rogue there. And there was zero pressure in midfield. Rogue just able to do whatever they wanted with that ball. And in this matchup, I'd really like to see Stromboli take the fight to Rogue instead of trying to kind of weather that storm on defense and then push out on a fast break. Let's see what you've got, Stromboli. Be the one to take the upper hand here. Be the one to control midfield. Try and get those boost pads and see what Rogue does when you push their heels up against the wall.
Don't call it a comeback, but don't call it a great start either. 3-2 for Stromboli moving to Game 6, where again, I haven't honestly been too impressed with what I've seen from Rogue. I've really just been impressed with Stromboli's performance, but Rogue has looked questionable at times. Whether or not it's been their transitional opportunities, the fact that they've left some windows open where Stromboli's come in and said, no problem, we'll take it over one, we'll score, easy peasy. At the end of the day, they haven't had to sit back on defense too much, but their offense has been relatively questionable, right? They've been able to pinch the sides of the box just a little bit. They've snuck some goals in, but at the end of the day, it has not been this relentless assault that we expected from an RLCS team. Yes, they're sitting at 8th, but they're still on the RLCS. They've had that experience. They've played against top caliber teams. We expected a little bit faster from Rogue, and a goal from Kronovi to start game 6 is they easily read this off a defender over 2, and you have a player sitting in the front of the box like, hey, I'll take that, no problem. Rogue go up 1-0.
Yeah, it's just a simple mistake there that cannot happen. Cannot have those breakdowns on defense this early into such an important game. I mean, so many opportunities for Stromboli. It's their series to lose at this point.
And Rogue once again scores the first goal in consecutive games, and they give themselves a bit of a cushion, but with how close these games have been, you need every single goal that you can. I know it seems like a really mundane comment, but at the end of the day, it's true. You cannot afford to let it go to overtime again. You can't afford to give up any easy goals like you just saw. And another follow-up for a second goal could be coming. And a good read from Stromboli gets it away. A double commit on the ball on the wall, so that one's going to fall forward. It stays out into Rogue's territory and gets taken away again. Here comes Rogue into the corner. They love playing on the side of the board, and Kronovi could not read it and has to fly back in transition.
J-Pow was going for the bump on Wonder there, and Alraz just bombs that up towards the backboard. Kronovi easily clears it away. So far, we have not seen much of anything as far as offense goes from Stromboli here in Game 6. Awkward pinch, first killer, hard shot. Good placement there, and way to capitalize on this opportunity.
And one of the comments we made last game was about Rogue's continuing pressure past midfield, the triple commits on the side of the walls. Now Stromboli committed a little too far forward. They leave an open, booming shot. 2-0 to Rogue at the start of Game 6. We could be looking at a 3-3 series lead moving into Game 7, which would be an absolute heartbreaker for whoever unfortunately bites the bullet on that one. But still, I'm impressed with Rogue's resilience coming into Game 6 here, Subi. They look like a very different team to start this game. A big demo from First Killer and a bump from Kronovi actually moves 2 defenders out of the box. And they leave a precarious goal and an awkwardly hanging ball, but J-Pow gets enough of a touch, and the pass from Alvarez does enough, and they finally make this game, the lead, I should say, cut.
Yeah, I love the fact that J-Pow leads this car back to just cover the entire verticality of that ball. Good 50-50 in the box there, but still, I'm not impressed with Stromboli's offensive performance here. That was their second shot so far, and what an angle from Kronovi out of the side corner.
All 3 committed to the ball on the wall in the blue half. It was a booming hit into the corner, and Kronovi, the veteran, will take it each and every time. A bad situation for Stromboli to be in, an unfortunate play, and Subi, you gotta wonder, was it necessary to commit all 3 players for that hit? At the end of the day, no. You give up a goal, now down 3-1.
Well, it's like they've used all their luck in this series. They've had some incredible saves, but when it comes down to it, you should never be sending 3 members going for the same ball, going for a save. Just not going to work well in your favor. And Kronovi pushes that ball back into the orange half and gets the touch, but just a little too high. But the pressure just mounting right now from Rogue, and Stromboli cannot break out of their zone.
It seems like all of a sudden Rogue has slowly started to wake up. They're becoming the RLCS team we expected. They're becoming the team we were obviously expecting to see on the pitch, but the one we've talked about the entire season, let alone today. We've said that this team is dangerous at the latter part of the season. Yes, they've been in this situation before, but Kronovi and First Killer and Wonder, I mean, these guys woke up at the end of the RLCS. Now they're here. We expected that coming in. They were a little bit slow to start, but it's a 3-2 series lead for Stromboli. Could be a 3-3 tie series moving into Game 7. Rogue have found ways to not only play back on defense, but they haven't been pressured too much. They are just finding these open nets that Stromboli have been giving up time and time again. It's been their disaster so far.
Well, Stromboli had a 3-on-1 fast break opportunity right there and didn't do anything with it. And again, Alraz and Andy cutting each other off in each other's space, in each other's zone. It's just the breakdown of positioning right now is the storyline for Stromboli.
Alraz gets it over one, pass to J-Pow, could not follow as Wonder gets the defensive stop. Bounced up, Alraz goes in traffic, another double commit from Stromboli, leaves it at midfield. First killer could not get a follow-up, and Wonder takes it away. And a great hit and a challenge on the ball from Wonder. I'm not sure how he got it over the defender, but Alraz just did not read it right, and it gets right over both. 4-1 Rogue.
There was about 4 seconds there where nobody from Stromboli was going for a challenge on that ball. And if you're going to give Wonder that much time and that much space with nobody back on defense, I mean, you're just asking to be scored on at that point.
A spike down leaves it open for Rogue. 45 seconds and a booming hit only does enough to burn time. Will not lead to a follow-up, but 4-1 with 30 seconds to be. We're looking at a more than 99% possible game 6 win for Rogue, which means this series is going the distance. They were down 3-1. We've seen 3-1 be a Reaper's number in sports for years. Now down 3-1 Rogue, they bring it back. They take game 6, trying to pat the stats at 5-1, but we're going into game 7, Subi. I did not expect this series to go the distance. I'm happy it is, but man, it has been a show from either side. But right now, Rogue just looks like the hotter team.
Well, I mean, it's almost funny how these teams are playing right now. Stromboli open up the series so hot, and that was the storyline of their season. They opened up the season super well and then just kind of fell on their face towards the end. And Rogue, a team that's known for starting slow when the season goes, and then when it comes down to crunch time, that's when they show up. That's what they've done the past few seasons, and this series is going the exact same way right now.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. And looking at the stats across the board, a goal and assist apiece, 6 saves and 6 shots for first killer, 2 goals for Kronovi, a save for everyone at least on Rogue. On the other side, 5 shots for J-Pow, only 1 goal. Andy and Alraz getting themselves involved in the mix. But at the end of the day, man, it is just the production from Rogue. They had a great shot from Kronovi on the side of the wall that led to 1 goal, but a couple of missed hits from Stromboli, a couple of triple commits that should not have happened. And those kinds of mistakes are what separates a rival series team from an RLCS team. And what separates you from when you're in this position in the promotion tournament, whether you relegate for the RLCS or whether you fall back down and we remain in the rival series for next season. Again, we're seeing that personality come through. Rogue has been in the RLCS. We know what they can do. Stromboli's been in rivals. They're finally meeting some different competition. And that means that these playstyles will be vastly different. This is a situation where you can't afford to triple commit like that.
No, I hope they use that minute in between games very well to talk about things and just say, hey, guys, this is do or die time. I mean, they still have 1 life left, either team that gets dropped down to that loser's bracket, but you don't want to go down there, at least not this early in the day. And I'm going to be looking at Stromboli this entire matchup because, in my opinion, Rogue has the upper hand right now. Rogue has all the momentum on their side. And right now, they're controlling the pitch up and down.
Well, it was in Rogue's hands, and they've let the series slip away. And I think James Bot said it best, right? Like, in the promotion tournament, sometimes it's more drastic and more pressure applied than when you're playing at Worlds. This is for making it into the big league. This is whether or not you retain your spot or you move up. At Worlds, you've already qualified. You're there. You're just there to hopefully win. At this point, it's whether or not you become a pro or you remain a pro. The pressure on these players is insurmountable, to put into words. And honestly, Stromboli has let the series slip away with a couple of key mistakes. But you have to look at Rogue and say they've capitalized and shown that they know how to play the game even when they're in this position. And that's why this series is so great and why it goes back and forth.
Right, so much on the line in this matchup. Even more so than just this series alone. When you look at a team like Stromboli, unsigned. Oh, what a double from First Killer. He somehow maintains composure all the way through this, gets off the ceiling to get his flip, and gets the shot on target. An amazing display of mechanics.
And it's going to take those individual plays like that, the little bit of backbreakers that slowly chip away at Stromboli's hopes and dreams. That was a phenomenal play from First Killer to lead things open again. Stromboli able to find the back of the net. It was Rogue that scored first in the final 3 games. But all of a sudden, J-Pow says, you know what? Individuality is what you want. I'll give you a passing lane to connect with. And a 1-1 lead. Or a one-way game, I should say, that is now going to hopefully go the distance as we still have 3 minutes to play, Subi. And this series, of course, it goes to Game 7. Of course, we're tied to start things up.
Love that quick answer from Stromboli, but there's still a lot of game to be played. Kronovi, plenty of time to work with, gets that one pass, and First Killer opportunity here, but good cut there from Alres to put pressure on that ball and disrupt the pass.
Oh my God.
Connecting with Kronovi, and Kronovi launches this one out of a barrel.
Once again, there's only so much you could do. You have to think it was 100 miles an hour off the top of the post. 2-1 Rogue. Kronovi is the guy that shows up. We said he's dangerous. We said he will refuse to lose this weekend. You know there is no chance in hell he's going to want to be sitting in Rivals next season. And he shows up big in this series. 2-1 Rogue. A bump from Wonder actually gives him possession. Alres could not follow up. And like we saw in the beginning of the series for Rogue, where they were winning these challenges, or I should say Stromboli that was winning these challenges, all of a sudden now Rogue is following that same pattern, and Stromboli has struggled to win some of these 50-50s that have led to these opportunities where Kronovi can carry it past midfield.
Demo on Andy from Kronovi. This ball sitting at the top of the box, but Alres is going to bomb this downfield. He has J-Pow looking for First Killer, but Kronovi, the smart play there, get a touch on the ball, and here we go. Rogue down to the orange half. This ball's going back and forth. Both teams looking for midfield control, but right now Rogue still has the upper hand.
Another booming hit. They couldn't get out in front of their box. They finally do with some teammate help. As the cavalry is here, and they now fall back in transition as Rogue have an opportunity on offense to make it 3-1. J-Pow with a great touch keeps it away. A challenge won by Stromboli. Up for J-Pow. That could be a shot. It could be a goal. It is. Tie game 2-2.
Just keep bringing the fight right back to Rogue. Good pressure there from Alres to squeeze that ball up in the air. And J-Pow narrowly makes that one, rings it right under the crossbar.
Game 7, these teams are giving everything they got. They want to go 1-0. They want to go ahead 1-0 in series count to start the weekend. It makes the pressure alleviate just a bit, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever you want to call it. I mean, these guys are fighting for everything. And to start this day off with a 1-0 win, whether you're Rogue or Stromboli, you got to be feeling good moving forward, Subi, especially with how these teams are going to progressively get better as the day goes on. Andy will take it out the front of the box. That's a demo from Rogue, and J-Pow could follow in too high. Kronovi will read it into the corner from Andy. First Killer takes it out of blue. Never mind. Back to midfield. A little bit physical from Andy and J-Pow as they hit each other. It could have slowed things down, but the momentum's still in Stromboli's favor as they finally get it past midfield. J-Pow burning a bit of boost, now has none, could not get a bump, but First Killer gets moved to the side of the box. He will take it away as Andy pushes it again towards the corner. Rogue should have no problem taking it. It looks like he's trying to pass it up for Alres, who could extend the play again. And they move it forward. Save from Rogue. Now burning time with a minute left, still a tie game. Game 7, an open net. Never mind, Alres comes in on transition. First Killer will again sit in the back of the box. He's had numerous amounts of saves in this series. Up for J-Pow, a shot forward, but no one will connect.
Wonder saving the day there. Kronovi in an awkward position, and net just sitting right in the center of it. And good bump there from Andy to throw First Killer off. Less than a minute to go. Next goal could very well do it. It is game 7. Whoever wins this is going to be staying in it, and the loser going down to the loser bracket to possibly face relegation to the rival series.
Whoever wins this will play the winner of E United and Charlotte Phoenix. I know they don't want to face that competition, but That's what you have to do to get a shot down. That's a great one, but first killer is there to stay away. And a demo for Rogue keeps them with a man advantage in their half. 10 seconds. Here comes a shot from Rogue, and that's gonna be the dagger with 10 seconds. Rogue make it 3-2. Could that spell disaster for Stromboli?
That redirect from first killer is just nasty. Not only is it right down the center of the gut, but 70 miles per hour, the power put on this kickoff so important for Stromboli. Less than 10 seconds to go. They need to go the full length of the pitch. And this ball out of their hands. Kronovi's just going to hit it down. That one off the side wall. The net's open. Andy with a shot. Under with the save. And Rogue holding on. They need to get this ball down to the ground.
It's left open.
And again, Stromboli still up in the air. J-Pow keeping it alive. And Andy again keeping it off the floor. Stromboli doing everything they can to stay out of that lower bracket. And J-Pow hits it to the ground, and Rogue stay alive.
The closest series you could possibly have, if not for an overtime, and Rogue take it 3